Yo, what's up? What's up with it? I'm QRS Terry, and today we're going to be talking about humanoid robots. Like, for those that don't know, every day I ask myself, what's the future? And I take detailed notes and store them in my WTF journal. What you're viewing here is a recording from that journal. If you want to see more of my thoughts on the future and just other questions about, what emerging technologies exist, I recommend you check out everydays.WTF. Again, that's everydays.WTF for all of the future notes that I've stored in this WTF journal thus far. Now, with that being said, humanoid robots, they remind me a lot of the first EV. Now, for those that don't know, General Motors back in 1997 released the EV1. And the EV1 was the first large-scale electric vehicle. Now, if you know anything about cars, you would know that nobody was even considering or thinking about an electric vehicle in 1997. Not mass market, at least. Well, there were some people, and General Motors definitely took care of those people. But for the majority of people, the EV didn't really become a thing until Tesla. And what's funny enough about that is in 2006, Tesla would unveil their first Roadster. Now, that was a little less than 10 years after the first mass market EV, but we all know the story from there. Tesla would then, 10 years after that, let's just go to 2016, would be one of the most in demand and probably easily accessible electric vehicles that you could get in the States, at least. And it's one of those things where there's a big comparable to humanoid bots because today very much feels like 1997. But that's my personal opinion. Guess what? In China, in Beijing to be exact, they had World Robot Conference. And I want to show you one of the things that creeped me out. Take a look at this. This is different. China is creating these are robots. These aren't people. And these robots have human-like skin, facial reactions. They've got physical movement. They mimic like people. This looks like something that should be in a CGI Disney film or something. And this is at the World Robot Conference. You can take a look at it. I'm gonna remove myself from the screen here, and this is just mind blowing. This is supposed to be a robot that's designed for emotional support, and you're gonna be able to just chat with it and mimic it. I've seen a lot of content, and yeah, we could be lonely. Yeah, we might not have as many friends. Yeah, we might live in isolation, but I don't know a future where I'm gonna be talking to this robot. This is just mad creepy. I mean, animatronics in the home. I'm one to talk about it. I'm one to judge it. But there's a lot of people that are actually a part of this future, and so much so. What you're about to see on this next slide is some of the research that I've seen as it comes to humanoid bots. Like this is the World Robot Conference, but it's bigger than Beijing. Let's take a look at some of the things that I found in some of my research. So what you can see here is, China is really big on this because China needs the humanoid robots to solve their current labor shortage. So if they can get these humanoids or these artificial people to just kind of do just monotonous, regular, everyday tasks, they might actually have a chance at, basically backing out of a labor shortage situation. They've got the facial expressions down. Nobody can disagree with that. Now, the question is, if these robots can mimic our expressions, can they also mimic our work? And what I want to do is introduce this to Apollo. Apollo is just announced by Apptronik. I'm going to remove myself from screen, and we're going to take a look at this humanoid robot known as Apollo. And Apollo is breathtaking. Like I look at Apollo and I'm just like, wow, like okay, this is not a concept, this is not a movie. This is a real robot that can lift and transport up to 55 pounds just with ease. Like it's just cranking away. It can stack boxes perfectly. And it's 5 feet 8 inches. So this robot, it can step to the average human and it can do some damage. Like this ain't like a little boy. And it's got swappable batteries. It can run 4 hours at a time. And, they're saying some of the early use cases for Apollo are going to be in manufacturing and the plants. And you think about this, I can see it. Think about an Amazon warehouse. We all want the same day delivery. And in order to get there, Amazon needs improved efficiencies. They really can't have room for error. Robots allow for that. They never get tired. You just got to swap their batteries. They might need mechanics to fix them, but I'm pretty sure we're going to an era where robots will probably be able to fix themselves. So when you think about the future, again, I think about this as electric vehicles in 1997. This is a concept that might actually be a reality in about 10 years from now, at least like widespread. So we'll be going to work and we'll be seeing, probably robots that look like Apollo or other humanoid robots, and that's going to be a thing. So that's Apollo. I want to actually jump to one of the stories about Apollo. This was featured in TechCrunch, and they get into some very interesting points. The first point is they're talking about how the necessary software and components that were needed to make Apollo a thing, they've come a long way. And it's pretty much driven by innovations in previous industries related to robotics and also things like autonomous driving. And funny enough, even the smartphone industry. So you think about how Apollo might see, well, cameras, especially very small ones that we put on the back of cell phones, have come a very long way. And because of that, you can meld all of the research and insights together, and you can get yourself an Apollo. Now, one of the other points that was made was, what do we really need these robots for? Is this ethical? Where is this going to take us? And a lot of people are asking that. A lot of people believe in it, and Apollo is not alone. Apptronik makes Apollo, but they have competition, and this is something that even Elon Musk himself has expressed a lot of interest in, and Tesla's actually working on a humanoid robot called Optimus. So with that, my take on just the future of this is one where we should get familiar with the capabilities of humanoids. I think that we're going to get to a place where cars are going to drive themselves, and the next purchase that we as humans actually kind of get behind after a house instead of the car. Because if we get to a world where you can get the cost of transportation down to a negligible number, no one's really going to want to own a car or need to own a car. And that's what EVs are a stepping stone towards, especially once we get autonomous driving. So what will be that purchase that you need in the household? I think it's going to be these humanoids. So you're going to basically go to some people's homes and they're going to just share a humanoid with the neighborhood. So it's going to go from, lawn to lawn and, get the mail, do all those things, but it'll be like a neighborhood humanoid. Then you're going to go to the people that's balling and they're like just, saying Yahoo. And when they're doing that, you're going to actually see several humanoids in the home. They got humanoids, cleaning up the pantry, humanoids organizing different closets and folding clothes, and all the things that you would normally do around a household, you can just automate with a robot, and sort of similar to what we use robots in the home today already for. You think about an iRobot, what do you use it for? Use it to vacuum and wash the floors. So as I think about where we're going and what the future looks like here, I think that it is very much a possibility. It's just going to be, how do we trust these humanoid robots in our everyday tasks and lives? Obviously, we'll probably see them in factories and in logistics first, and then from logistics, we'll see them move into other categories that scare me a little bit to think about. But I mean, we might even see humanoids at nursing homes and in other healthcare facilities, because some people don't have loved ones to check on them, and conversation with a humanoid robot might actually be the difference between someone wanting to be here and not. So with that being said, I want to let you know that every day I take detailed notes and I ask myself, what's the future? You can check out those notes and other videos like this over at everydays.WTF. One of the reasons why I would actually go over there versus just watching this on YouTube is because there's other future thinkers like myself over on everydays.WTF, and we're starting our own little community. You're getting in early, but trust me, this is going to be super big, and it's one of those things where if you enjoy this content, I guarantee you're probably a future thinker, and you're probably wondering what's next. Go over to everydays.WTF and think about the future. Don't try to predict it, try to understand it. And that's all I'm asking. Until then, I will catch you in the future, and stay away from the humanoid robots right now. Like, I don't need you being in the next episode of Black Mirror.